Hey YouTube, this is Eddie, and today I'm going to take a look at the OnePlus 13 1 year into ownership. I bought this in March of 2025. It's now March of 2026, and this phone is something that I would say is almost an unmitigated out-of-the-park home run. When this device came out last year, and this was before the RAM crisis that we're experiencing, but when this device came out last year, it offered some new novel technologies. It also offered pretty good pricing. So this phone, this is the blue version with the faux leather back. We'll talk about that because that's a novel material for a back of a phone. There were a lot of concerns about how this would hold up over time. We'll talk about that. But it had novel materials. It had, the silicon carbon battery. Basically, it could cram a way bigger battery in a smaller space. This phone's only about 8.99 millimeters thick, and it's able to fit in what at the time was a best-in-class battery that's now been eclipsed by its successor, the OnePlus 15. They skipped over the 14 for some reason. Anyway, the price was right. The price was really good. This phone, I believe, has 16 gigs of RAM. I know it has 512 gigs of storage, and that was able to be offered for $1,000, which again, right, that's not cheap, that's expensive, but I was able to get a significant discount on the phone. I forget if that's because I traded something in or if when I bought it there was a coupon. I know I did get the OnePlus Buds 3 for free with the phone, and side note, those weren't very good. But I did get them for free. So they had some promos to bring the price down a little bit. I think I got this for maybe the 12 gig 256 price or something, $899, something like that. So I would say for the price, you really can't beat it. You know, is it the most affordable phone in the world? No. But for the price, it was unbeatable because it has this huge battery. It has insane charging speeds. I was abroad in Ireland and I charged it at 100 watts, I believe it was. In America, I think it's limited to 80 watts. So that's still incredibly fast. It's a really great go phone because the battery lasts forever due to its large capacity. Now the optimization isn't the best. By and large, you can look at something like an iPhone 17 Pro or 16 Pro, right? Maybe that's a more fair comparison. Those have way smaller batteries. And yes, does this phone last longer than them? It does. But does it last, so much longer than them, right? If you put this capacity battery in an iPhone, it would outlast this OnePlus. That's what I'm trying to say. But the battery still, it's the best battery life of any phone that I've ever owned. It's incredible. Yeah, incredible battery life, distinct design, extraordinary speed, a bunch of RAM, a bunch of storage. I'm not even at 256 gigs of storage, let alone 512. So why am I considering leaving the OnePlus 13 after just 1 year? Well, put quite frankly, I'm a tech head, right? If you've followed this channel for a while, you know I'm a tech head. And so I like switching phones just to switch. And I save up, set aside money. That's a goal I have every year is, hey, if I want to switch phones, I have the means to do so, and maybe I don't need to or want to that year, and that's fine, but I want to be able to do that. That's just a goal that I have, and so I'm able to. But additionally, mostly, there's two things that hold back this phone. One, most notably, one's making me seriously consider, and the other thing I'd put up with. And the thing that I'd put up with is the cameras. Now you can see the H here on the back. This is a Hasselblad collaboration. That actually is not the case anymore with the OnePlus 15. So some people say that the cameras are worse. Some say they're passable still, about the same. Some even say a little bit better. So I think reviews are pretty divided on the camera performance of the 15 versus the 13. But the point is, if it's an upgrade, it's not meaningful. And then these cameras already weren't exceptional. There are some cool Hasselblad features in here. Let's take a look at those. Let's take a look at those really quick. But yeah, there's some really cool features with this phone, with the Hasselblad integration. But you can see already, it's picking up some fuzz on my desk. But the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm recording this on, is producing very true-to-life colors on this mat. Very true to life. Like what I'm looking at with my eye is very similar to what's being picked up by this camera. You can see the OnePlus, right? The blues are a lot lighter already. Even if I back up, I'm holding it behind the camera now, you can't see it. The colors are more true to life over here. Like if I show, let's shine it that way. They are a little more true to life the further away I get, but it's not as good as something like this, and it's not as good as other phones I've used in the past, even a couple of years ago, I don't think. That's not to say it's a bad camera, because it's not a bad camera. The shutter speed's really good. It's telling me to hold my device steady, I think because the lighting's not great in here. But if you're taking a photo of just any lighting, it takes it really, really quickly and then delivers the photo to you. But like I said, there are some cool features in here. So there is, of course, your classic photo mode. It will do these smart scenes automatically. So if you're pointing it at like a stage at a concert, it will change the mode. If you're taking a picture of like food, it'll do that. There's also a macro shot mode, which I'm making decent use of. So let's get out this Filson watch here. Wrist check, what are you wearing today? Let me know in the comments. And so I can take a look right there. You can probably see it through the viewfinder. There's a little bit of a scratch on the Filson watch right there. And so you can probably see that. So the macro shot mode is pretty good, because that's decently hard to see with the naked eye, right? If I hold that close to the camera, yeah, you can see it a little. And then down here, you can't see it really much at all, but I can pick that up with the macro mode. So again, is it a bad camera? No, but especially when I went on some trips and did some work things with some people, wanted to take some photos, this is not the best camera. It does outclass the camera on my wife's Pixel 9a, so it is sort of our primary camera when we travel, but it's still not the best. But one of the killer features it does have, which the 15 doesn't now that the Hasselblad collab is over, is this X-Pan. This X-Pan is super cool. Here it says, best for natural landscape, street photography, wilderness portraits, creating cinematic vibes, and it's really, really neat. So you're able to take photos of things much differently with really just a wider field. You can see there, it kind of takes the photo, and then we can look at the photo. I'm going to disagree to the terms. And this actually showed up all right. We can see the clarity of the keys there. I can even see, geez, I got to get a lint roller, dog hair from my dog right there. So again, is it a horrible camera? No. But is it a best-in-class good camera? Is it a good for $1,000 phone camera? No. I mean, Samsung's going to have better cameras at $1,000. Apple's going to have better cameras at $1,000. Additionally, I would take the normal Pixel, so not the Pro, and the normal iPhone camera, not the Pro, over this phone. So if cameras are your priority, this is not the phone to get, and neither is the 15. This is a battery warrior though. So if you're like, passable photos are fine for me, which I usually fall in that group. Plus I want great battery life, lasts all day, if not longer. This is a great phone. But there is another reason why I'm considering leaving the OnePlus Life here, or maybe even upgrading to the 15, and that's the screen. And now don't get me wrong, this screen is beautiful. It's one of the best screens on any phone. I believe it is a 10-bit display, and it does do very high resolution. Now it does come out of the box, even though it is a big display with Quad HD resolution, it does come out of the box with 1080p resolution to save battery. And that's the way I use the phone every day up until like a week ago when I was watching a YouTube review on a different device. And they're like, yeah, I cranked the resolution up. Honestly, I am a bit of a pixel peeper. I do love good quality displays. And I didn't notice much of a difference, quite honestly. This is a beautiful display, but this phone is big. You can see I hold it in my hand. If I hold it in my right hand, I mean, I can't even reach the clock widget. If you tap the weather, it'll show you what the weather is, but I can't even tap the weather holding it from here. So it is a big phone, and I don't know that I love the big phone. I love watching content on here, like YouTube and stuff, and the battery just, like I said, it lasts forever. Most people, 2 days probably, charges fast. It's awesome. Again, the holdbacks of this phone is the camera, but also the display. And you might say, well, Eddie, you just talked about how great the display is. What do you mean? This display is curved, and I do think that that lends it to a good ergonomic feel in the hands. But these have been panned by people for a really long time for multiple reasons. But the biggest reason I have a problem with it is any screen protector does not work well, if at all, on here. And that's because if you set up the screen protector, you can see it a little bit. You can see that black part of the display, the bezel, just kind of curves off. It falls off into the bezel, which again, I think lends it to a better in-hand feel versus a sharp edge, right, a 90-degree angle. It falls off into the bezel. But no screen protector works because there's no curved screen protector. So you're gonna hit right here. And so if you install something like a tempered glass protector, you're gonna have this noticeable ridge on the device. So every time you move your finger over that, you're just gonna hit this ridge and it's unpleasant. Whereas if you install it on a device with a flat screen, you really just glide right over it. It's not as big of a deal. And the OnePlus 13 did come with a pre-installed screen protector. Great, but that screen protector was just a TPU screen protector, it's just a plastic one. So it didn't last particularly long. Unironically, it started peeling at the edges because it didn't cover the edges. So air bubbles started to appear under the edges of the device. And so I took it off, put a different screen protector on. That's how I found out that screen protectors don't work particularly well on this phone. And then the display does not resist scratches very well. I would say not as well as something like iPhone with ceramic shield. I don't know how I'd compare it to something on the new Gorilla Armor 2, I think it is, on the S26 Ultra. Haven't had a chance to use that or other Android phones. So you get a beautiful display, and you can just fly through everything. Again, right? You're talking about a beast. It's kind of a gaming phone disguised in a normal body, quite frankly. It does actually have a game mode. You can see there's a game assistant application right here. But the screen gets scratched easy, and that sucks. So that's a big reason why I'm thinking of leaving. And they're hard to pick up on camera, but at least for me, like I said, you might not notice. You might say, Eddie, that display looks pretty flawless, pretty immaculate. But there is some scratching. Let's see if I can get those to highlight. There's some scratching up top here. It's always around the edges. I think, again, it's because of that curved screen. There's some scratching up here. Nothing you can stick a finger into, but just some scratches that alter the colors of the display. You can see the scratch. And then there is a thumbnail deep scratch right there. Let's see if I can get you to see that one. Yeah, you can probably barely make it out right here. But that annoys me every single time I use my phone. I can get my finger right into that. Yeah, there it is. You can see it. I can get right into that scratch, and that annoys me a lot. Yeah, there it is in better focus. You can see that. And then there's a bunch of smaller scratches all along here. Again, originating from the curved part of the display. Again, is that the reason for all the scratches? I don't know. But I do think I would still be rocking this phone with a screen protector if they applied better, worked better, etc. I do think that is part of the reason why OnePlus did switch to a flat screen with the OnePlus 15. Again, there's some scratches up here, pretty hard to see. You might be able to see one there. And so that's the main reason why I'm thinking of moving. And again, look, if I was in a different financial place in life, or if I made my goal to save up for a new bike or something, bicycle versus a phone, I would be sticking with this phone. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, right? This phone is still in good condition. The battery health has held up really well too, so it's not just, hey, a fast charger and the battery degrades. It's at like 97% battery health. The phone is awesome, but again, I don't like scratches. I hate them, and I normally have a screen protector, but it just has not worked well on this device, and that has led to scratching and led to my device condition kind of deteriorating faster than I would have liked, even if the new technology and the leather back and those types of things held up really well. When this device came out, most people were saying, okay, this has new battery technology, so how is that going to hold up over time? Is that going to be good or bad? And it's really good. Let me show you. I'll show you right now the battery health of the device. So let me do that. Let's look at the battery health. That has held up, again, extremely well. Yeah, look at this. So we've got 97% maximum capacity after a year. I mean, I've had iPhones degrade faster than that are in like the 90% range. 97% battery after a year with this new technology. So it's safe to say, at least on my particular unit, it's holding up really well. And I have not seen reports of, the battery failing or degrading online. And then the leather back, the faux leather back, this was something people were wondering if that was going to hold up because most phones are made of glass on the back to do wireless charging. This does still have wireless charging through the back. It doesn't have magnets. You have to buy a case for that. But it's held up, again, extremely well. I mean, take a look at a OnePlus phone online, or take a look at somebody unboxing their brand new OnePlus 13 from a year ago, right? So you can see the device in its brand new glory. And then come take a look at this video. This is a great device back. It feels really cool. The design language is neat. It's hard to get a blue phone that has this texture to it, if impossible. You can see kind of the grooves there in the faux leather, and it's really nice for the most part. Again, it hasn't degraded, hasn't had issue, hasn't been worn, it's not worn. It looks brand new. The one thing, or the two things, is when I am on the back, my hands have caught the OnePlus logo, and it seems like it actually fixed itself here, but it would my hand would hit it and it would almost be a little rough. And then same thing with the Hasselblad H. And I can feel that one a little bit. Not that I have my finger up here all the time, but this is a place, when you're holding the phone, your hand or your finger, I kind of hold my phone like this sometimes, does catch the logo. But nitpicks, right? Minor nitpicks. This is still a great device. If you can find a new one with the screen protector still installed, or you can find a screen protector that works better for you than I did, feel free to let me know. But I haven't made my mind up yet. But again, I hate looking at those scratches every day. It does bother me. And I might switch to like a Pixel. Maybe not even a Pro. I don't know that I need all the Pro features necessarily. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I know in this video I'm being a total, first world problem type of guy, but one of the things I like to do is switch phones, and it might be time for the OnePlus, and I might need to get a screen protector for whatever I get next. I don't love the curved display and what that has done. Now, everything else has been pretty good, except the software does have a few quirks to it that I don't like. It seems like notifications keep popping up over and over, even if I've already answered that. Like, I'll get notifications for messages I've responded to on Signal or in the Messages app from hours before. And so there are some weird things about the notifications. And then this is not getting the best, most frequent updates. OnePlus is one of the best Android manufacturers at giving updates, but they're not the best. They're not on the Google level. And for me, someone who's concerned about cybersecurity, as someone who works in the field, things like security patches at minimum are really important to me. I did see a really major patch recently that was released, I believe, in the March security patch. But if I look at my device and I look at the security patch, I'm trying to find it behind the screen right now. It doesn't have the March security patch. I think it has the January security patch. Yeah, I can't find that, but I just looked at it the other day. It did not have the most recent security patch, and so I don't love that. I don't love that. So that's really about it for the OnePlus 13. OnePlus 13. Now, I did look at getting a screen replacement for this device because, right, it's chugging along. It's really awesome. So I looked at getting a screen replacement. That's another thing. You can do that if this happens to your device. And it was $200. So it's cheaper than buying a new phone, but I'll take you inside the boy math, the economics of it. So I can get the screen replaced for $200, and maybe I would do that. However, I can't be without a phone. I have work two-factor authenticator codes, and of course, right, I have to be reachable for work and just in general at times. And I don't have a backup phone. Normally I do have just some old phone lying around in a drawer. I don't, because I sold everything. Like I said, that was just old stuff lying around trying to declutter a little bit. And so I could get the screen replaced, sure, but that would be out of my possession for some time, and I would need another phone, and I don't have another phone. So I'd have to buy one. Okay, well, if I buy another phone, then I'm buying another phone just to have it lie around, except for the month or 3 weeks that this is getting repaired. So now my $200 purchase of a new screen is really what, like $600? Maybe I buy a $400 phone, $200 phone, refurbished phone. Some good refurbished options for $200. So that it gets me to about $400, let's say, maybe a little more after shipping and all that. But this phone, yes, it was $1,000 sticker price. Like I said, I didn't pay that much. I think I paid $899 and maybe had some like credit card points or something to utilize. And so I paid $900, let's say, maybe a little less. A refurbisher will buy this device in this condition for like $415. And so for the price of me getting a screen replacement and getting a backup phone and all that, I could just sell the phone for a little bit more, let's say, than that price, and get a new phone, a phone that I would like to use and get a screen protector on that. Because even if I did get the screen replaced, I don't know that the problem, like I said, is going to resolve itself because of the curved display. And again, I get why OnePlus did it, because it does feel nice in the hand. You don't have a sharp edge here when you're putting your phone here to hold it, and that's really nice. But again, the downside is it's more fragile. A lot of people, I haven't seen a ton with this phone. I've seen a couple grumbles on Reddit, but a lot of phones, when curved displays were really coming into vogue, I think they had a Galaxy S series Edge even, was if you drop the phone, it's much more likely to crack, because instead of the bezel taking the full force of that and the display being kind of recessed or at least protected by the buffer of the device, bezel and frame, it is just going to hit this, it can hit the corner of the screen the wrong way and then crack the screen, whereas maybe you just get a dinged up piece of the frame otherwise. I will say I have dropped this device several times incidentally onto hard floors, and I love that it looks as good as it does. It's just those scratches, and it just seems like every time I pull it out of a coat pocket, it has more scratches. And there's nothing in that pocket, no sand, no coins, no keys. It just seems like, it's a scratch magnet, if you will. So again, let me know what you think. This is Eddie, and I will see you in the next one.